Hello. Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure. First time in Leeds. And you know, I love speaking in the UK because I don't need to faff with planes and no one asking me about passport and security. And however, there is a security, so. I have a couple of tactics and I will, by the way, I was thinking that I have too many slides. Fabrizio, good job. I just will start my counter because I don't want to go too long. I have a couple of tactics that you can take to home and to your office, to your agency, and implement straight away without massive budget, without massive effort. My name is Lukasz Zelezny. For 6.5 years I was working in Uswitch, then Uswitch being bought by Zoopla, so I've been in Zoopla and Uswitch, and in October last year my little one, Sophie Harper, was born, and I decided that this is a good moment to become independent consultant. So my kitchen, my kingdom. So let me start. The first, there will be 5 tactics, and the first one is Snapshot, one of my favorite tactics I'm using for my customers. And whenever you're thinking about Search Console, it's okay, but whenever I'm thinking about Search Console, I'm always thinking about Data Studio. I cannot use Search Console anymore without the Data Studio. I love APIs and I love connecting Data Studio to Search Console. So here's an example. I have my website, Zelezny UK, I'm just giving permission to my Data Studio to get the data. And yeah, I'm confirming that. And I can start building a report. First of all, I'm excluding all the queries that are empty. Sometimes through APIs, some queries are empty. We don't want empty queries. So I will see only keywords that are really keywords. And I'm getting this very nice table, which contains pretty much everything I need. So first column is keywords, the second column are corresponding landing pages, then impressions, clicks, and click-through rate. And first tip is, if you will look closer here, then you will see that there is 24,000 keywords. If you're using Search Console without API, without Data Studio, will never be able to go that far and get that many keywords. Also, what is important, when I was in Uswitch, I learned that Uswitch was like credit cards, mortgage, broadband, mobiles. We had every product as a separate property in Search Console. So whenever there was a problem, we could go very quick into granular version, or we could slice our website, and then I knew on which floor I should run and talk to word developers. So I have my metrics, impression, clicks, click-through rate, and I can export this into Excel. And the snapshot is ready. And then I'm doing a couple of tricks. So first of all, who's using Excel? Raise your hand. Great software. And you can use a sort, and very sexy sort, which is into stages. So I'm sorting by landing pages, and then straight away by impressions or by clicks. And I will get these landing pages grouped. And this is creme de la creme, anim GIF. I was working quite hard, and you can see every URL is grouped. Then impressions are going down, and then until they will go into like 0 or something like that, almost 0, and then another URL, another URL, another URL, and another URL. And when I have this, I can do the creme de la creme of Excel pivot table. And I'm never thinking about keywords, I'm always thinking rather about URLs, and then what keywords are corresponding. So here is Zelezny UK, my little website, find SEO clients, and I can see here that I have like how to get a local SEO clients, 1,483 impressions, 0 clicks. So that is definitely a strong signal that something is basically wrong with that landing page, because there are impressions, there is no clicks, and I should start working. It's a different situation here, how to get SEO clients without cold calling, 640 impressions, 47 clicks, 7.34 click-through rate is okay, but again, if that keyword is not ranking first, then I can try to push that keyword. And if I will start doing this in scale for each URL, let's say 5-10 URLs a day, here is another one, SEO snapshot method, what we're talking right now, SEO snapshot method, check SEO SEO quick, and so on and so on. I can see SEO snapshot already have some clicks 9 clicks in a given data range, but unfortunately that keyword wasn't ranking first. So again, I can start working. The clue is that you're doing this on scale. So you're not going with 1, 2, or 5 pages, you're going with 10 pages a day. And during the week that is 50 pages, and during the month it is like 200 pages, and so on and so on and so on. And now this is socialmedia.pl, the domain I'm very proud of acquiring. I was born in Poland, so I speak Polish as well, and I've been able to acquire this. Then I had to tell my wife, but that's another story. But generally, you know, I acquired this, and this is something like is equivalent of SEMrush for Polish market. It's called Senuto. And you can see number of keywords, the blue line from socialmedia.pl. And here are like 3 stages. Acquisition, aka I didn't tell my wife. She was like, what are you talking about, this social media PL? I was like, I need to tell you something. And then, yeah. And then I started working on content marketing to prove her that it was a good investment. So you can see that keywords, number of keywords in top 10 are growing. And here is my competitor. And then finally, I done a snapshot. And you can see how number of keywords are going up. And I'm trying to be super transparent, super open. So I have a screenshot from Google Analytics. Organic traffic only. Again, I'm not trying to, you know, to say like, oh, I have like 5 million visits a day. No, I have like, you know, here is the scale up to 10,000 sessions, and each dot is 1 month. So we can see that these periods are corresponding with the previous chart: acquisition, content marketing, and then snapshot. Conclusions. Why are you using this? Because you're using keywords that rank already well, you're leveraging quality traffic using Google as your advisor, and you play Google game. So you're not trying to trick. You're just asking, hey, Google, where I'm ranking right now? If you think that I should rank there, then there must be a reason. So let me try to push these keywords up. The second tactic, keyword magic tool. Anyone is using the SEMrush? Raise your hand. Wow, okay. Okay, so I'm going home. No, very good choice. Keyword magic tool, I love keyword magic tool with passion. And first, let me start from this. There is a keyword intent, awareness, interest, consideration, conversion, conversation, and so on. It's quite complicated. I'm just splitting this into 2 areas. The first is this. When you're trying to attract a primary audience, the audience that not necessarily know about you. So there is, when you're building awareness, interest, consideration, conversion. Retention and advocate, we will not be talking here. And when you're talking about awareness, interest, consideration, conversation, or conversion, then you always see that there is a pattern. There is lots of this why, how, what, where. There is lots of questions. We had this with USwitch. We were building lots of content around questions that people were asking, like, for example, what is economy 7 or what is a smart meter? And then we're saying, like, this is the answer you're looking for. And by the way, do you know you can switch your electricity provider? Just polite, you know, not too pushy. And when you're thinking about this, then Simon Sinek, raise your hand who knows Simon Sinek Golden Circle. This is a great example how you should think when you're starting a company. But unfortunately, when you're trying to acquire traffic, you need to put yourself into shoes of a customer, not entrepreneur, but a customer. So Simon Sinek, and his great concept is saying, start from why. And then when you will try to flip this, and you will try to go into content marketing, you will need to start from how. And this is my, what I call SEO search volume golden circle. Now how is the biggest one and is the most dominant, then what, then why. And I had a chat with my friend and he was like, yeah, that makes sense. Why is a bit philosophical, isn't it? I was like, yeah, true, but I need to prove you somehow. So I was thinking what I can do to prove you that that makes sense. And I choose 2 companies that are absolutely fantastic in content marketing. So we'll start from how. The first company is a HubSpot. And I analyzed around 1,200,000 keywords, and I tried to find what keywords contain how, what, and why. And out of 1,090,000, there is 149,000 that contain how. This is more than 10%. Then what, then why. If you are bilingual, you will see that the same pattern applies to other languages. How is the most desired word? And then I wanted to go with another example, Shopify. You can see that there is 1,077,000 keywords that are not from the group of questions, and then how, what, and why. And how is again dominant. Almost 10% of keywords contain word how. So knowing that, you can go, for example, organize conference in a keyword magic tool, click question, choose your language, and you will see here how to organize conference, how to organize conference, call meeting. Obviously, a bit of logic need to be placed, a bit of human needs to decide what is relevant, what is not. And I was like preparing the slides, and I was thinking, like, if there are any questions that are very popular and keyword difficulty is almost zero. And you will not believe what are these keywords. These keywords are how to cook broccoli. So if you would like to launch a website and start ranking very quickly, that is the sweet spot. How to cook broccoli. I don't know how to monetize this yet, but that's another story. How do you cook London broil and so on and so on. So how to cook broccoli in oven, like plenty ideas. And then I was thinking, like, if someone would come to me and say, like, Lukasz, I want to launch price comparison website. I would be like, in UK, yes, are you crazy? No. So, okay, let me try to find keywords. And I would go with keyword magic tool. And you can see, can you get cash back with a credit card? 3,600 search volume. Keyword difficulty doesn't exist. How to pay off credit card? Lots of questions. How? How? So you can see this pattern is here. And when you will start here, the intent is very high. When someone is asking a question in Google, very likely that person wants to click. It's different keyword, like someone is typing Lady Gaga, for example. There is no intent. So another one is a brand mentioned and links. One of my favorite tactics. And a little story. My name is Lukasz, my surname is Zelezny. That's Polish name, Czech surname, and I'm living in UK. What could go wrong? So I've been, since I remember, I'm 12 years in UK, I'm always Zelensky, Zeleny, Zelenush, and so on and so on. And it's simple. It's just Lukasz Zelezny. So, when I had these problems with my name and surname, I was thinking, like, I will change this. And I will go with this, not too ostentatious, so I will go with a very crazy name and very common surname. And I was thinking to change my name and surname to Archibald Smith. And I was about to do this, but then I noticed that there was an Archibald Smith already in 19th century, Scottish guy. You can even see a kind of similarity. And somehow he's first with his Wikipedia page, when you type Archibald Smith, not bad SEO as for someone who is dead for 100 years. But then I was like, hold on, when you have this kind of crazy name and surname, then you can try to track your brand mentions. So I went back to Lukasz Zelezny, and I went into some brand tracking softwares that are available there. TalkWalker, Brand24, Fresh Web Explorer, Google Alerts, that never works. But anyway, and I went into Brand24, and I created a project, and I put my name, surname, with space, without space, with some typos, and so on and so on. That project is running since 2004. I have one older one from 2014. 2013 is used with the oldest project. And every time there is a mention of my name and surname, I am, first of all, thinking like, okay, there is no other Lukasz Zelezny, and I can see what people are talking, what people are writing, and I can approach that person and say like, hey, thank you very much for mentioning. Any chance you can make this mention a link? So if your website, if your brand is not a booking.com or cheap holidays, but for example, like Zoopla, Uswitch, or for example, Cadbury's or NatWest, that will work. So this is how the panel looks like. I have some mentions in a given period, and I can filter this by Twitter, blogs, forums, news, and so on and so on. And this is one example. There was an podcast I've been a guest, and I mentioned Uswitch, and they wrote uswitch.com, but they didn't link. And I had a project there, and I had an alert, and I went there, and I was like, guys, thank you very much for posting this. By the way, any chance that this uswitch.com could be a link? Most of these people will be absolutely fine. And one day I was like that, because I saw this. I was like, what's going on here? And first thing was like, that must be like kind of like spam or something. What is this language? And then I was like, hold on, that must be Russian. I don't read Russian, you probably know why, but I can speak a little Russian. I have neighbors who are Russians. Sometimes they invite me for a barbecue. More vodka we have, more fluent I am. But anyway, here is Lukasz Zelezny with not Cyrillic, with Latin alphabet, and Uswitch as well. And Brand24 catch this, and I could go there and say like, oh, thank you very much. What they did, they took my article, didn't ask me, translated this to Russian, and then put a link to my LinkedIn profile. And I could approach and say like, listen, LinkedIn have enough links. LinkedIn links, you know. So maybe you can make this link to my website. And this is how I was building my links, 32,000 links, 219 referring domains. Not bad, I think. But then I went into another tactic, links and social profiles. So think about this. This is my little baby, SEO.London. Another domain I didn't know. My wife was like, yeah, you should buy this domain. This is a good domain. I was like, okay, yeah, thank you. So this is my LinkedIn profile, and this is my website. And the whole point was to move these links from my LinkedIn profile to my website. Because when I went to Majestic, I saw this. 20 domains is linking to my LinkedIn profile. That doesn't give me much benefit. If I want to rank higher, then I need to have links to my website. So I started looking what are the websites that are linking to my LinkedIn profile, and then I started approaching, and I saw that there is lots of people I know, lots of people that I had interaction before, and they are absolutely fine. They don't care if they're linking to LinkedIn, Twitter. Sometimes I'm thinking that it's better not to have LinkedIn and Twitter because all those links will be automatically pointing to your website. So here is one example, and here is another example when I had a link to LinkedIn and I approached them. This is, I think, AccuRanker, and they added link to my website. And then I started building to SEO.London. Here is 11 referring domains. Right now, if you will check, there is 57. So it's growing every day, every couple of days is growing. I have a list, I have a spreadsheet, and I'm doing the same for my customers. And then this is my Facebook, 2 referring domains. Not the end of the world. But then almost I get a heart attack here. Twitter, 164 domains. I'm doing SEO for Twitter and they're not paying me. Link building for free, you know? And I was like, no, Twitter, we need to talk. So I started again repointing that links. And then another Facebook profile, also 7 links. I mean, I don't have 2 profiles. I have like fan page and private profile. So why does it work? Because you mostly know people who are linked into your to your social media profiles, and it will be the same with your company. If you have Twitter for your company, that will work. Try to repoint these links. It's easy to switch link from social media profiles to your website. Generally, it's relevant because your Twitter, LinkedIn, and your website are kind of topically relevant. It's organic, kind of, and you can save tremendous of time doing this. And then the 5th one is called merge. So again, another story. Merge subdomains into subfolders. Many people is talking about this, but somehow there is some worries. Should we do this? Should we not? And so on and so on. And I had a client. He came to me. He had a very good website and very good blog. And I saw that the blog is on subdomain. And I was like, listen, I think I can very quickly unlock lots of value if we will take your blog and we will move this to subfolder blog. And then we will 301 everything. And he was like, do you really think like that? I was like, yeah. And he was like, you know what? Fuck this. Let's go crazy. Let's move all the blog posts to the root folder. I was like, whoa. No /blog/ everything to the root folder. I was like, that will be difficult to track in Google Analytics. I don't care. We're moving this. I was like, okay. So we move this, and this is search metrics. Anyone is using search metrics? Raise your hand. Cool. And take a look. Boom. The visibility started skyrocketing. And this is not simply that you're moving traffic from one place to another. You're building synergy because your blog and your main website are kind of treated as a separate properties. So you're building massive synergy. And then I had another client who had an old website, and he had forums on a subdomain. And I was like, listen, let's move this to /forums/. He wasn't that crazy to move this to the root folder. But again, he was here, then the visibility went up, went a little down, but still the traffic was much, 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 much higher than before that transition. And then finally results. So this is that blog.domain.com that I moved into the subfolder, and the orange and the green, that's our competitors. And I am really looking forward what's going on here in their office. Like, what the fuck is going on? Why we are not doing us crazy up? But no, this is great because I can pitch and I can say, like, I know something, we should talk. So maybe more customers. And that's pretty much everything what I have for today. Thank you very much, and let's catch up on LinkedIn.